Imagine spending $70,000 on an SUV, only to have it break down before hitting 50,000 miles. These aren't just regular problems. These are the 10 SUVs that'll empty your wallet for nothing in return. And wait until you see what number one is doing to destroy its owner's bank accounts. 10th, Volkswagen Taos. Let's kick things off with a real disappointment. Sure, it looks good on paper. That 158 horsepower turbo engine gets you from 0 to 60 in 8.5 seconds. And the fuel economy? Actually, pretty decent. 34.7 miles per gallon in a 200-mile test loop. But don't let these numbers fool you. The transmission? It's a complete disaster. It comes with jerky shifts, which means you're coffee spilling everywhere. And if you get the all-wheel drive version, it's even worse with that 7-speed dual clutch. The interior? Well, cheap plastics everywhere you look. Generic design that'll put you to sleep. Even the infotainment system feels ancient. That tiny 8-inch screen looks like something from a decade ago. And the tuning knob only works for AM/FM, not even satellite radio. How do you mess that up in 2024? Want to know the real shocker? For about $30,000, you don't even get automatic climate control. Or a moonroof. Basic features that come standard on cheaper cars are premium upgrades on the Taos. 9. Jeep Compass. Now this one's really gonna hurt your head. Jeep's supposed to know what they're doing, right? I mean, they've been making SUVs forever. But this is rough. We're looking at maintenance costs of $10,000 over 10 years. Over $10,000 just to keep this thing running. But it gets worse. Drivers are literally getting stranded on the side of the road. We're talking complete electrical failures, mechanical breakdowns that leave you calling for a tow. And guess what? There's already been a recall for electrical system problems. The 2014 model is the worst though. It comes stock with engine stalling issues that could cause accidents. Customer satisfaction is through the floor. And the really scary part, basic safety features that come standard on a $20,000 car, you can't even get them as options here. No forward collision warning, no adaptive cruise control, nothing. 8. Ford Escape. Now this one's a real piece of work. Let's start with the interior, which falls apart faster than a deck of cards. We're talking materials wearing down, cracking surfaces within months, and build quality that'll make you cry. The transmission? Slower than a snail going uphill. Throttle response? What throttle response? Press the gas and wait. By the time it kicks in, the light's already turned red. And safety? Well, here's a list. Electrical system problems, engine issues, and fuel system recalls. 3 major recalls already. Want to know the real pain? $8,700 in maintenance costs over 10 years. And the 2018 model? Total nightmare. Engine problems, suspension issues, electrical system failures, transmission troubles. Even the engine cooling system gives up. It's like they were trying to break records for most things that can go wrong in one car. 7. Jeep Renegade. Look, we get it. Everyone wants a Jeep. But this affordable option? It'll cost you way more than just money. First off, let's talk performance. Or should I say, lack of performance. 0 to 60 in 9 seconds. The transmission sounds like it's grinding rocks every time you try to accelerate. And highway speeds? Better pack some earplugs because this thing gets loud. Fuel economy is also embarrassing. 21 miles per gallon in the city, 29 on the highway, when competitors are hitting mid-30s. And remember, this is a small SUV. It should be sipping fuel, not chugging it. Now the price tag, starting at $29,400, and that's just the beginning. Want the fancy trim? That'll be $34,440. And the features you actually want? Each one jacks up that price even more. But here's the real horror show. Stay away from 2015 to 2018 models. They've got serious reliability issues. We're talking expensive maintenance, regular breakdowns, and enough problems to fill a book. 6. Nissan Pathfinder. Remember when the Pathfinder was actually tough? Well, those days are long gone, my friends. Let's talk about the real problems here. The transmission just stops working, like completely stops moving forward. No warning, no nothing. Just, sorry, I don't feel like driving today. The control screen goes completely blank out of nowhere. Hope you don't need navigation or climate controls or, any information about your car and maintenance costs. Over $7,500 over 10 years. That's if you're lucky. And the 2015 model? Well, here's the list of problems. Leaks everywhere, transmission failures, climate system issues, drive system problems, brake troubles, suspension nightmares, steering problems, engine cooling system failures, engine issues, electrical system disasters, fuel system problems, paint peeling off, trim falling apart. At this point, it would be easier to list what doesn't break. We're only halfway through our list, and the top 5 are even worse. If you're finding this information helpful, smash that like button right now and hit subscribe to never miss out on car buying advice that could save you thousands. Because what's coming up next? Let's just say number 3 had 5 recalls, and number 1 cost more than a house payment. 5. Kia Sorento. Here's another modern SUV that totally missed the mark. The forward collision warning system is more like forward confusion system, constantly giving false alarms, making you jump out of your skin for no reason. And the lane departure system? It'll have you departing straight to the dealership. But here's where it gets really interesting. Visibility is so bad in this thing, you might as well be driving blindfolded. And maintenance costs of nearly $8,000 over 10 years. That's like buying a decent used car just to keep this thing running. And there were 3 recalls already. We're talking backover prevention issues, equipment problems, and trailer hitch troubles. And if you're thinking about a used one, stay far away from the 2016 model. It's even worse. 4. GMC Yukon. Now this one might shock you. Sure, you see them everywhere. But popularity doesn't equal quality. And this monster, it's got some serious problems. Let's start with the yearly maintenance costs. $750 per year. Just to keep it running. Over 10 years, that's like $8,000 counting for inflation. But wait, it gets better. The 2016 model is a total disaster. We're talking in-car electronics failing, climate system breakdowns, suspension problems, transmission issues, engine troubles, drive system failures, power equipment going haywire, paint peeling off, trim falling apart, and electrical system nightmares. And because it's so unreliable, the resale value absolutely tanks. You'll lose money on maintenance and when you try to sell it. 3. Lincoln Aviator. Looking fancy doesn't make this thing reliable. Let's talk about that fancy powertrain. You get that sweet 3.0-liter V6, but what good is all that power when you're stuck at the dealership? The drivetrain is always faulty, electronics have more glitches than Cyberpunk, and the paint peels off like cheap wallpaper. Want to hear the scariest number yet? Almost $12,000 in maintenance costs over 10 years. You could buy a decent used car for that. And the recalls, 5 of them already. Backover prevention, 3 times. Powertrain issues. Even the seatbelts aren't reliable. 2. Ford Explorer. The Explorer? More like the Exploder. Trust me, this one's dangerous. Let's start with the scary stuff. Stalling problems without warning. Oil leaks that can cause fires. Yes, fires. And multiple breakdowns have also been reported. The maintenance costs? $750 every single year. Estimated to be over $9,000 in 10 years. That's just for regular maintenance, not counting when things really go wrong. And in the 2016 model, everything breaks, water leaks everywhere, paint problems, suspension issues, power steering failures, drive system problems, climate system disasters, transmission troubles, body hardware falling apart, and electronics going crazy. 4 recalls and counting. And owners report their Explorer needed fixing multiple times during ownership, sometimes leaving them stranded on the side of the road. 1. Jeep Wagoneer. And here it is, The king of disappointment, the most expensive mistake you could make, starting at $62,500. But wait until you hear this. It can go north of $120,000. For that kind of money, you'd expect perfection, right? Well, think again, because it comes with electronic issues everywhere, plus leaking sunroofs that'll ruin your interior. And drivetrain complaints are already piling up. They just ditched the V8, replaced it with a twin-turbo 6-cylinder, and that's already having problems. Sure, it makes 420 horsepower, but what good is power when you're stuck at the dealer? You should buy it if you like throwing money out the window. These things are such slow sellers, dealers can barely give them away. And when you eventually try to sell it, good luck getting even half what you paid. And for the maintenance? Don't even get me started. Jeep actually offers 3 years of free maintenance because they know you'll need it. And there you have it, 10 SUVs that'll break your heart and your wallet. Before you spend your hard-earned cash on any of these, remember, sometimes the most expensive mistake is buying the wrong car. Drop a comment below and let us know which SUV is the worst for you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more automotive content. If you're tired of bad SUVs, click here to watch our video on the 10 unforgettable SUVs that made history.